call.
And the two guys who can't buy a break so far, Daz and Cox in the big blinds.
Whereas 8 more, 12 in total.
He might be going all in. Yeah, I thought so.
All in.
I thought so.
Wow.
And he, Cox, he must be thinking.
Count it
He's
down
made
says,
two,
yeah.
He's made 2 bets, and
Boy, it's like Cox has a bit of a star on his head here.
it's always
Bullseye.
It's not always good value raising a short stack, Jesse, if you ain't got a nut
22.
hand, because they're always likely to push you all in.
Yeah, Cox is going to have to just make a big decision about this. I kind of felt like that Cox would have just knuckled this a lot of times, but being that he has a short stack, felt like he had to try and take it right there.
Yeah.
Maybe Hickman's picked up on that.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I think he's just making a stand with 6-7, you know. He knows he's probably got half a chance of putting him off the hand as well. So
wow.
he's giving it a spin with his 6-7.
Ian is going to feel quite righteous about the call right now, and Daz Hickman all in.
Yeah.
And what do you think the final factor was there about Ian Cox calling?
Well, just still probably got the ump over the 3-10s, Jesse. But you know, he's got ace-8. He's still got well, he ain't really got 16,000 left behind if he loses this.
He's got trouble now because Daz Hickman has just stuck his head in it and come up smiling so far with the 6. It has to be an ace or 8 now. This will be brutal for Cox. He was 2-1 favorite when he called, and now he's
he's down to 16,000.
he's down to thinking it's just not his day.
Yeah, people seem to make plays at the right time against me, and they always seem to hit. That's the way it goes.
Not very lucky, says Ian Cox. I never have been.
Trying to get over a bad beat? Take advice from Phil Hellmuth.
Well, when I have a bad beat, I handle it really well. Yeah, right. I go a little bit crazy. What the heck just happened there? But you know what? When I'm really on top of my game, when it's really important, I'm then going to count my chips down. How many chips do I have left? Yes, I'm still in here. Okay, try to stay focused. Try to forget what just happened. Look at your next hand. Study it a little extra long. Maybe count back from 10. Get yourself back in the game. Because you know what? This is an opportunity for you to have a bad beat and still win.
Looking at the leaderboard, what do you have to say about that? That's poker.
Well, yeah, he'll feel really, you know, he'll feel worse once he sees this come. Well, once he gets in the green room and they tell him what the hand was with Pippa. But yeah,
Ian Cox, yeah, he's having a day like Dave Gregory had last week. Is what he's having.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I remember that. I think it won't be too long before you see this 16 go in, Jesse. He's got to have the right ump now.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him still at the table. A lot of guys would just walk away here and say, "Mail me my check, please. Let me know how I did." Jeez, poor Ian Cox. The leap from online gambler to live poker player is large, but Cox is a deft hand.
Texas Hold'em in particular is a game that you can learn in 5 to 10 minutes. The rules are pretty basic, you know, much the same as playing chess or whatever, but to master the strategy and to learn, you know, because every situation is different and new, even though you might have the same cards. It takes a lifetime to master. I'm still improving, and I will carry on improving. Well, someone said to me earlier in the year, you know, you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride, because as far as playing poker live, I've only been playing less than 2 years now, just over a year and a half. I was always an online player before, and I've won plenty of titles and tournaments online, but I haven't won a live tournament yet, but I've had 2 second places in European ranked events this year. So I'm still waiting to get my hands on my first trophy to take home. And the trophy means more to me than money, in actual fact.
Ian's got the passion and desire to win, but is that enough?
I think it's 30% skill and 70% luck, because it doesn't matter how skillful you are, you know, I say the cards have to run right. And poker players, you know, you read it on the internet forums all the time, you hear stories of every tournament you go, you know, people are fed up with bad beat stories, because they are a part of poker. That is unfortunately something you have no control over. You have control over the way you play a hand and using your skills, but you have no control over the way the cards fall. And the odds might be X or Y for something to happen, but sometimes the cards just defy the odds.
Did we see someone come back from 14,000, I think, in one of these heats?
Don Fagan
there's
came back
Don's.
from 22 in his heat.
That's the nicest hand he's picked up.
Raised to 10 in total.
Under the gun, 10,000.
And will the players
Pass.
respect the fact that
Pass.
Don has only raised one hand
Pass.
today?
Let's see what he picks up. King 10.
Well, he's got 2,000 in here, Ian, and 14,000 back. He'd get a free round if he folds.
I think he probably will fold, but no, yeah, wrong.
All in.
Give it a go. But the only reason I was going to say is because Don hasn't played an hand yet. They're 20 hands in. He hasn't played one hand, and he's got to get past Pippa as well.
I knew you were going to do that.
Value in there's a bit of money.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that. I'm quite happy.
I get half a hand.
Yeah.
I've got half a hand.
That's pretty much the story.
I feel like that's good.
And
My only worry was you had ace king.
Cox is 6-4 against. I think he's just pretty much got his mind made up. He doesn't feel like sitting there without any chips.
No, that's right.
Can't say I blame him. To be honest with you, you can only take so much in one day.
Terrible feeling. It's
Yeah.
a terrible feeling.
There's always another. And not a terrible flop there for Ian Cox. Now the queen helps
Took
him.
took the queen away.
Okay, diamonds.
10, queen or king for the outdraw.
Oh,
That's made it difficult.
he's still got the queen, and he's got a spade now.
Yeah. Couple outs. 3-1 against.
Oh, he's hit the spade.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Unlucky.
And
I had to go.
Yeah.
You know,
I just wonder if sometime Ian Cox,
I
you
was
know,
looking at half a hand and I was in there.
the thing that'll make him feel the best is that he came from behind to win this
Yeah,
hand.
sure.
It might sound sick, but that's how poker
Yeah.
players think. Now he's dogged someone at the table. Ian Cox all in and trailing. When Fagan hit the ace on the turn, Cox had to make a straight or a flush. He made the flush. Ace king high beating ace queen high and making Ian Cox dangerous like a trapped lion. Don't assume who will go through. There's 6 and it's only 3 gonna be at that final table. It won't be laughs when it gets more serious.
Welcome back to the second semifinal. There are already 3 players that have made it through to the final table. Tonight, 6 more players will be competing for a seat in this ultimate round, and only 3 of them will be taking their chips through to the final table. We now go over to our commentators to see how the game's shaping up.
It's not like this game is back to square one, but it's back wide open again. You know,
Pass.
it's a bit of breath of
Pass.
fresh air in Ian Cox's sails now.
Yeah,
Pass.
he knows he can have one good move now. He's got 36,000. If he doubles up again, he's right back in the game.
He might choose to stick these all in. He might choose. Well, he's chosen a
Raise
small
10.
raise. And his nemesis, Pippa Flanders.
Because he's small stacks, you might want to put him in, or just flat call and have a look at the flop here, Jesse.
What does the fact that Don Fagan is behind her, is that going to enter in at all?
Well, it should do, you know. Yeah, she's just
Oh.
cool. She's got a good game, isn't she? Yeah.
And Don
Pass.
flirting with disaster a little bit there, but folding. Yeah, I mean, we saw some interesting situations in the last semifinal. I'm thinking of John McGill and Jez Bailey, and it gets a bit tricky when you got that big blind to think about, doesn't it?
Yeah. Especially, you know, if she would have put enough chips in to put Coxie in, and then someone comes over the top of her, she's in big trouble with the ace-jack.
As it turns out, Fagan could have called here and had beaten both these players. But right now, Pippa's ahead. Is it a better play for her to get the chips in first, or think about getting them in second?
No, get him in first.